Good evening. Woo! I got off a nice phone call. Some more of my buttons just keep getting pushed. And that's okay, because guess what? I am learning to control my anger. And instead of getting angry, I'm going to share how I feel with you guys. And you're so welcome. It's just so much. So, I just get really tired when anybody thinks that they know what is best for me. Now, I think we all, well, that's very hypocritical, because I think we all think we know what's best. I even do that, right? I think I know what's best for everybody. So there you go. So maybe that's not it. It's the whole, it's just the control. That's what it is. You know, we all may have our opinions on what's best for each other, but it's when we control or try to control other people and forget that they have free will. Ooh, that just does not sit well with me. It does not sit well with me. Not sit well with me at all. But guess what? Instead of getting angry about it, I am going to use that as my ammunition to keep doing what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's amazing. And I'll tell you something, I've been talking with some people that I met when I was in the hospital, and it's so validating to talk with people who experienced the same things that I did, because as a close family member mentioned to me earlier this week, evidence, we were talking about God and how do you know God exists, and this whole beautiful conversation. It was a great conversation. And then one of the arguments was, well, if you don't have evidence from a second person, then how can it be real? Well, I think the beauty in what I get validation from speaking to the people that I was in the hospital with is that a second person, a third person, multiple people experienced what I experienced. Now, one of them in particular knows what I'm talking about, because we both experienced the same thing. And yeah. So I was far removed from God and Jesus, and that UFO came, and it came down, and because of that UFO, I started researching, and I started meditating, and I started this whole thing. And then, I got into the conspiracy of the pharmaceutical companies, and that, that the powers that be are trying to control us with pharmaceuticals. And so that's when I quit cold turkey. I stopped my anxiety medication and ended up not sleeping and going into mania, and ended up in the hospital. But that was all part of God's plan. And then in the hospital, someone I was there with, they were channeling Jesus. And I was standing I don't know, maybe 2 feet away from this person when they were channeling Jesus. And this person looked at me, and I felt like a jolt in my body. And he said, "Did you feel that?" Yeah. Okay, so that's when I got my evidence, just like all kinds of examples in the Bible, these miracles that Jesus performed. There was in my Glorify app this morning, it's sad that it took me all this amazing, just these amazing experiences to get me to go find God and seek out Jesus and have a relationship with him. And I am so grateful. And I have validation that what I experienced in the hospital was real. And so no one's going to tell me I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. And again, I've got a good job. I feel like I'm really smart. You know, I'm doing things with friends. I'm out. I feel like I'm living a good life. I'm getting better with my kids. I'm making more of an effort there. I'm not upstairs, you know, in the bathtub all the time. Sure, I still take a bath and I still make time for myself, but I'm not depressed anymore. And it's because of God. God has saved me. They found me. And I've found a friend, and I'm going to have more friends who get me, and I get them. And what I think is so great about me not being on medication is that I'm able to reach my highs. And I know that it's not ideal to be in that high state all the time, and that's okay. And I don't know that I've been so high where I'm going to get so low, because I'm learning to maintain it. But not being on medication allows me to experience excitement and get high, you know, just enough to like not lose myself. And I want to see other people who have bipolar type 1, you know, be able to experience the beautiful gift that God gave them. And it's like, this goes back to Satan and the fallen angels and all of that. And I just truly believe all of it. And the book of Enoch is super interesting. I had a great chat with someone else earlier this week about that. And it's like, you guys, I know for a fact that God is powerful. And all you have to do is admit you're powerless without him. And he will help you with whatever it is you need. He will heal you. I fell off my scooter, and I swear I broke my arm. I had a concussion. In my opinion, I was in the hospital, and I injured my leg pretty good. And then when I was getting my x-ray, I fainted. And then when I went back in the room, I saw like a rainbow circle in my eye. And they rushed me to the hospital in an ambulance, and they gave me a CT scan, and nothing was wrong. I went back to the hospital room, and I felt liquid all in my head. And what I'm realizing is, like, I had some serious, like, conversations in the hospital with God, because I had been through so much at that point, and it was just another something that was going to take me down. And I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? But I made a decision that I wanted to live. I wanted to live. Satan was trying to take me out, and I wanted to live. And so guess what? He made it so my arm wasn't broke. He took away my broken arm, and he took away the blood, which I think that's what that was blood in my brain. I felt it. It was either that, or it was like some magical liquid that I don't know. And then you know what happened? Like, there is so much stuff that has happened that I want to share with you guys. And another thing that happened recently, I told you about the fingers, like, doing something, and then they silenced me when I wanted to scream that night, and I felt better after it. And then recently, like maybe a month ago, I'm laying in bed in the morning. I woke up and I was like very emotional, and I felt my energy, like, just, I felt my light energy being pulled up higher, just to help lift my energy up. Like there was another entity helping me. And there's so many other experiences that I have that are, I mean, indescribable and just amazing. And this stuff is real. And I am so lucky to have had a really good support team to help me get through it. And I grew up with loving parents. I was loved. I was extremely loved. I always felt loved. And I think that makes such a difference with how I'm handling everything. It's just because I've been so loved that I have so much love. And I think love is what makes a difference with people who are struggling with mental health. I do, and I think love goes a long way. And so instead of calling people crazy or judging them or, calling them names, and just, how about support them and love them, and just, maybe you don't believe it because you didn't experience it, but instead of saying you're crazy, just say, okay, I believe that's what you experienced. And I mean, minimally, if that's all you can say, that is a lot better than you're crazy. Because when you call someone crazy, I mean, for me, it's hard. And I grew up with a really supportive system. And, when you say that to somebody who maybe doesn't have that same strong foundation, that's when it gets pretty shitty. And my heart just goes out to people, and I want to help people. I really do. I really want to help people from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to. And I've got some great friends from that hospital. And one in particular friend was helping so many people in that hospital, and I saw how hard he was working. And I'm going to support him because I believe him. He's my friend. I'm very lucky. All right. Have a great night. Bye.